Okay, staying informed, it shouldn't feel like just another thing on your list, right?
Right.
As members of Southeastern Indiana REMC, you get updates, through bill inserts, the REMC Connect e-magazine, Indiana Connection.
There's a lot of info coming your way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we know you're busy, so think of this as your shortcut. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah, we're basically taking all that member-focused information and pulling out the really key stuff.
The surprising bits, the things that actually matter to you as part of the SEI REMC community.
Precisely. We've looked through the latest communications, community projects, CEO insights, numbers, member stories, safety tips, energy savings, all of it.
So the goal is just to give you the essence, make it easy to stay connected and, well, informed about your co-op.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this. First up, there was a story that really jumped out at me from these updates. It's about a project at Versailles State Park.
Ah, yes, led by Sarah Simon. She actually works at SEI REMC and Member Services.
And it started from something really quite heartbreaking.
It did. It shows how, personal connections can really spark community action. Sarah talked about how the tragic death of a young man, Carson Hughes, affected everyone deeply. And she knew Carson's mother, Mandy. Their families were close, so it really hit home. It wasn't just news for her. It was personal.
And that's when the idea came, during the search efforts.
Yeah, she was there at the park, and the thought just struck her. Why aren't there security cameras here? Such a simple question, really, but born from a tough time.
And that became her RELEAT project seed. Relate. That's the leadership program through Indiana Electric Cooperatives, right?
Exactly. And a big part of RELEAD is doing a community project, something grounded in those cooperative principles.
Like concern for community.
Precisely. Sarah's idea is a perfect example of that principle in action. It's something you, as REMC members, hear about a lot. This story isn't just about cameras, though.
No, it's about how tragedy can mobilize people.
Right, and how the cooperative structure itself helps members tackle local needs directly. It's quite powerful.
So the initial goal was straightforward. Cameras for the park. How did they start making that happen?
Well, first, she got support from Carson's parents and the park management. Then she started fundraising, just within the SEI REMC team.
Oh, interesting.
And her colleagues responded really generously, raised nearly $300 pretty quickly, enough for 2 solar-powered cameras.
Okay, sounds good so far.
Uh,
But there was a snag.
A real-world challenge. When they went to install them, they realized, no Wi-Fi signal where they need the cameras most.
So the solar-powered Wi-Fi cameras couldn't connect.
Exactly. Kind of a key problem. How do you do surveillance with no connection?
Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that problem actually led to a really cooperative solution.
It really did. Sarah talked to the SEI fiber team, the same fiber bringing internet to many of your homes.
Right.
Turns out there was fiber infrastructure already in the park, just maybe in a less accessible spot. So, with their know-how and, importantly, getting the okay from the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources, they're now working on extending that fiber to power the cameras, maybe other security stuff too.
That's fantastic. And the community spirit kept going.
Oh, yeah. Comer Contractor, Inc., a local company, stepped right up, offered their trenching services completely free.
Wow, that's generous.
Yeah, totally. That work is actually happening now, or was very recently. And what's more, the park itself, Versailles State Park, is now thinking about maybe expanding SEI fiber throughout the whole park.
Including the front entrance. That would be a huge security boost.
Definitely. So, what started as this response to a tragedy is growing into something much bigger, potentially helping everyone who visits.
So maybe her early presentation didn't capture all that recent progress, but she can share it now.
Exactly. It's a project that's really about honoring Carson's memory, trying to prevent future tragedies, and just embodying that cooperative spirit. Concern for community, you see it pop up again and again in your REMC communications.
Okay, and speaking of SEI fiber, another thing members probably saw in the Ask the CEO section was about pricing.
Right.
Why might SEI fibers seem a bit more expensive sometimes compared to other providers, especially if there's grant money involved?
Yeah, that's a really fair question. And CEO Keith Matthews gave a pretty clear answer in the materials. He basically said, look, grant funding is absolutely crucial. It helps a lot with the huge cost of building this fiber network.
But it doesn't cover everything.
Exactly. It's only a portion of the total investment, especially when you think about a rural service area.
Right. The challenges are different out here.
Totally different. Putting fiber across SEI REMC's 7 counties,
Yeah.
It just costs more per mile than in a dense city. You've got bigger distances, tougher terrain sometimes. So the price reflects the long-term cost. Building it, operating it, maintaining it, making sure it's reliable now and, ready for future needs too. It's that cooperative model focusing on community benefit, not just pure profit.
And it's about consistent pricing too, right? Not those crazy low intro offers that jump way up later.
Precisely. The idea is transparent, long-term pricing. No contracts, no data caps. You know what you're getting, and it's reliable. No nasty surprises.
And it's important people know who actually owns the network.
Yes, that's key. Southeastern Indiana, REMC, built it and owns it. It's a cooperative asset. They partner with SEI Communications for the installs and the tech support.
Okay.
But the REMC owns the infrastructure. So when you pay your internet bill, those dollars stay local. They support local jobs, future upgrades.
So choosing SEI Fiber is kind of like investing back into the community.
Exactly right. It's the cooperative difference in action. Built for the future, by and for the members. And you see that message consistently in the REMC updates.
Okay, let's shift to the bigger picture. Some numbers from the Behind the Numbers section in recent updates really paint a picture of the co-op's impact in 2024.
Yeah, some of those stats really stand out, like the sheer number of connections.
Over 28,500 electric services energized.
And 7,600 members connected to SEI Fiber just in 2024. That really shows the vital role the REMC plays in just keeping things running and connected.
It shows how fast that digital divide is closing, too.
Absolutely. And it's not just providing the service, but helping members use it wisely.
Right, the energy savings.
Yeah, through member programs, people saved 282,000 kilowatt hours last year. That's real savings on bills for those members, and it's good for everyone, environmentally speaking.
And they kept building out the fiber network, too.
Oh, yeah. Another 288 miles of new fiber lines in 2024, reaching more homes, more businesses. That's a serious commitment to getting everyone connected in rural Indiana.
There's one stat that really drives home the cooperative mission, I thought. The average services per mile.
Yes. Only 8.21 services per mile on average.
Wow.
That really shows they're committed to serving everyone, even in those less populated areas where, other providers might not bother because it's not as profitable.
That's the core idea of a cooperative, isn't it?
Right.
Service for all members.
Exactly. And the financial impact goes beyond just the poles and wires, too.
You mean reinvestment?
System upgrades for reliability, sure, but also supporting the community through Operation Roundup.
Over $110,000 awarded last year.
$110,650, yeah, to local nonprofits and community projects.
Operation Roundup is such a cool program. Can you just quickly remind folks how it works?
Yeah, it's super simple, but really effective. If you choose to participate, your monthly electric bill just gets rounded up to the next whole dollar.
So like pennies each month.
Right. That little bit of change from everyone who participates gets pooled together. Then local charities and organizations can apply for grants from that fund.
And it adds up. Food banks, youth programs, emergency services.
All sorts of local initiatives benefit. It really shows how small contributions together make a huge difference.
And there was a specific example recently, right?
Yeah.
The Batesville Pregnancy Hotline.
Yes, they got a $2,500 grant earlier this year. They're a volunteer-run nonprofit doing really important work.
What kind of services do they offer?
Things like free pregnancy tests, confidential counseling, practical help like baby items, diapers, clothes, that sort of thing. Plus, support programs for new parents, referrals. Really vital support for women and families facing unexpected pregnancies.
So that grant money goes directly to helping those families.
Absolutely. They mention in their thank you note, which was shared, that the funds will help provide essential baby supplies. Things like car seats, cribs, diapers, wipes, offering real, tangible hope during a tough time.
It brings that concern for community idea right back around.
Exactly. Full circle.
If people want to learn more about the Batesville Pregnancy Hotline.
Yeah, their website was in the communications. It's batesvillecphd.et.org. So batesvillecph.org. It's a great way to see that local impact directly.
All of this, it really underscores connection, doesn't it? Electricity, internet, but also that human connection the REMC fosters.
That's such a key point. Reliable electricity is just fundamental, right, for a safe, comfortable home. Things we often take for granted. And now, high-speed internet through SEI Fiber is just as vital. It bridges that digital divide, opens doors to telehealth, remote learning, work, staying in touch.
It really is more than just utilities.
Yeah, it impacts our overall health and well-being. Staying informed, accessing services, maintaining social ties, strong connections like these, electric and internet, they build stronger communities. That's really at the heart of the co-op's mission, as you read in their updates.
And they also provide tips for members, right? How to get the most of their internet or prepare for outages.
Yeah, practical stuff. For SEI fiber users, put your router in a central, open spot. Reboot it now and then. Use wired Ethernet cables for things that need top speed, like maybe a gaming console or a work computer.
Okay.
And use strong Wi-Fi passwords, obviously, for power outages. Sign up for outage alerts on SmartHub. Keep flashlights handy, portable phone chargers, use surge protectors. Maybe think about a backup generator if you have critical needs.
Good reminders. And help is available if needed.
Always. Contact info is readily available on the website or bill.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. The co-op also spotlights members, which is always nice to see. May's issue featured Marcia Parcell.
Ah, yes, Marcia. A great person to feature in May, especially as we celebrate mothers. She's a mother of 5 herself, and she's dedicated her career to the community.
She's the Health and Human Sciences educator at Purdue Extension in Dearborn County since 2014.
That's right. Her work focuses on healthy living for both kids and adults. Super valuable stuff.
And her commitment goes way back, right?
It really does, nearly 2 decades. Before her current role, she spent years as a 4-H youth development educator, guiding so many young people. And she was an elementary school teacher before that, too. Just a long history of dedication to education and community.
And it sounds like she really lives those healthy values with her own family, too.
Oh, absolutely. Raised her kids with a focus on health, involved in 4-H, taught them cooking, made sure they had good food. You can tell it had a lasting impact.
And she's gotten some formal recognition, too.
Back in 2022, she received the Distinguished Service Award at a national conference for extension professionals. It's a big deal, recognizing her outstanding work.
It's great. SEI REMC highlights people like Marcia making a difference locally. Now, thinking about our listeners, maybe specifically busy moms, what REMC benefits highlighted in the communications really stand out?
Okay, yeah, good question. First, just reliable electric service. That's huge for running a household smoothly.
Definitely.
Then, high-speed internet via SEI fiber, essential for remote work, online school, just managing life these days. Energy efficiency rebates, those can help save money on bills, maybe help pay for upgrades. And then all those community programs, 4-H reimbursements, summer camp support, student scholarships, the DC trip for high schoolers, supporting local events. Those offer real value and opportunities for families.
And that Smart Hub tool seems super convenient.
It really is. Checking energy use, paying bills online, getting outage alerts, all on your phone or computer. That simplifies things a lot when you're busy.
Where can people find more info on all that?
The best place is the Programs and Services page on the SEI REMC website. Or just call member services. They can walk you through it.
Okay, good tip. Now, safety first. Recent updates covered outdoor electrical safety and also fire extinguishers.
Right. Very timely with Memorial Day and summer kicking off. For outdoor electric safety, the key things were inspect your extension cords for damage. Keep equipment dry. Don't overload circuits.
Okay.
Use stuff rated for outdoor use. Be safe with grills and heaters. Keep cords out of walkways, tripping hazard. And maybe think about GFCIs, those special outlets for damp areas for extra protection.
Crucial reminders.
Yeah.
And fire extinguishers, just as important.
Yeah, SEI REMC takes it seriously at their facilities, but the advice is good for everyone. And know where your extinguishers are. Check the pressure gauge. Is it in the green? Make sure they're accessible, not blocked by stuff. And know how to use it. Remember, pass, pull the pin, aim low at the base of the fire, squeeze the lever, and sweep side to side.
Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. Got it.
And get them serviced or replaced when needed. Being prepared can make all the difference.
Definitely. Okay, switching back to saving energy and money.
Yeah.
There's a rebate for mini-split heat pumps.
Yes. They're pushing energy-efficient mini-splits for cooling and heating. You can get $500 back for a whole home system or $300 for just a single room unit.
And what are the advantages of those mini-splits?
Well, they're super energy efficient. They use inverter technology, so they adjust their output instead of just blasting on and off. Saves a lot of energy.
Okay.
You get zoned comfort heat or cool just the room you're using. Installation is usually easier, no big ductwork needed. They're quiet, and they do both heating and cooling, so year-round use.
That's pretty good. Where do people find the rebate info?
Again, the SEI REMC website, all the details in the application form are right there.
Great. And looking to the future again, the 2024 scholarship winners were announced.
Yes, always exciting. It shows the co-op investing in the next generation. This year's winners are Isabel Pearson, Isabel Robb, and Toby Stevens.
2 Isabels.
Yeah. Talented students from different schools across the area all heading off to pursue higher education. It really highlights that co-op belief in supporting education and local kids.
Well, congratulations to Isabel, and Toby. That's fantastic. And finally, let's talk about Memorial Day. SEI REMC shared a really moving tribute.
They did. The cover of REMC Connect had that powerful image, right? Linemen raising the American flag.
Yeah.
It's such a strong reminder freedom isn't free. It's protected by the sacrifice of our military members. Memorial Day is really that time to pause, reflect, and honor those who gave everything.
And seeing the linemen involved, people who work hard serving the community every day,
Yeah.
that felt significant.
It really did. It connects their service to that broader spirit of dedication. SEI REMC expressed gratitude to all veterans, active military, and their families for their sacrifices. The message was really about remembering the fallen, honoring them through remembrance, and also by living purposefully, valuing the freedoms they protected.
A very fitting tribute. And one last thing, kind of circling back to connection and technology. There was a Tech Talk piece about telehealth for distant caregiving.
Right. Super relevant for a lot of people nowadays, caring for loved ones who aren't nearby.
How can telehealth help there?
Well, it lets you join doctor's appointments remotely, right? So the caregiver can participate, ask questions, stay in the loop without having to travel every time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, there are remote monitoring devices now. They can track vital signs, activity levels, giving the caregiver real-time data and some peace of mind.
So better communication, maybe catching problems sooner.
Exactly. It means less travel stress, but still lets you be engaged in their care, maintain that connection. The article had tips on setting it up, and importantly, stressed needing a reliable internet connection.
Which brings us back to SEI Fiber.
Right. And they even mentioned a limited time offer of free Wi-Fi extender for new fiber customers or upgrades, just underlining how crucial that strong connection is for things like telehealth.
Wow, okay. We've covered a ton today, all pulled from recent SEI REMC communications. It really shows how much useful info is in there.
It really does. If you engage with those updates, the bill insert, REMC Connect, Indiana Connection, you really do get a good sense of what your co-op is up to, what services are there for you, and how they're working in the community.
So as you, our listener, think about everything we've talked about, the Versailles project, fiber pricing, safety tips, member stories. What stands out? And maybe what's one small step you could take? Maybe explore a program or just enhance your home safety a bit.
Yeah, lots to think about. But I think what really comes through consistently is that commitment. SEI REMC seems genuinely focused on serving members, being transparent, and really caring about the community's well-being.
And that's our deep dive for today. Hopefully this was a helpful shortcut to getting informed. Thanks for joining us.